Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Multiple Shenanigans. This week is Jeanette.
Random rantings and small wins. So we're just going to be ranting a little bit and then
talking about our little wins.
And they're really mundane on the whole.
Spoken for ages again because of life.
Yeah, everything's been all over the shop.
What's been happening in your shop that's been all over then, and then I'll tell you mine.
It's not good overall. My dad's partner died, I guess, like my stepmom, because she'd been with him for 28 years.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And that was the funeral you went to last week.
Yeah, so that's horrible.
Was it out of the blue as well?
Well, she'd been ill for a while, but unconfirmed illness. Like, they don't really know what happened. Just one thing after another, and it's never really. So they're waiting to find out. That the cat won't stop howling because she misses a mate. Oh, I'm so tired. Just the middle of the night. Wow, wow. Also, some good stuff. I feel like I've started on a write downer.
Tell us your good things, then I'll start moaning.
Something that I'm quite excited about that I'm going to show you.
How exciting. Very visual.
I've just bought a tiny sewing machine.
Ooh, that is definitely tiny.
It was £12.
That was half the price of my new oven that I've just bought today.
Because I got a few things that I wanted to mend, and I used to take it to my mum's, but she got rid of her sewing machine. I thought, oh no, I don't want to buy a whole big sewing machine. So I looked at getting one of those like handheld ones, and then people said you've got to fasten it off yourself and it's a bit fiddly, and I thought it's probably not the best idea. And then I found this beauty. I'm really excited to start. That's my good news. I ordered it. I was like, well, you know, if I took things to be mended, it would cost more than that. But then afterwards, I got a real pang of guilt. Like, it's probably because that's a piece of shit that won't last very long, and like, it'll be a waste.
If it lasts 2 mends, then you're still quids in, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. But
in terms of plastic,
bit of metal.
Let's hope it lasts forever.
Yeah, well, I'll use it as a decorative item.
Yeah. A prop. If all else fails, it's a prop.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally shattered at the moment because in my house I've got lots of work going on, and they will come early, and I've persuaded them as late as they can be, and 9 o'clock is as late as a work person will start. They keep saying things like 7:30, and I just go, no.
What are you talking about?
No, listen, I'm not well. I can't do or possibly do before 9. So they're coming at 9. But getting up at 9 every day is really, really getting to me. And I was all right with most things until that, because I've had you get the weekend to recover, and quite often I've had a 3-day weekend. But I haven't done anything else apart from sleeping and trying to clean up. I clean for 3 hours. That's after they've left, and then I'm totally shattered. So that's Friday done. Saturday I try and sleep in, but I've been doing a few things that are all been on a Saturday or a Sunday. So if they were in the week, I'd be out when the noise and stress was going on, but they're not there at the weekend. So my relaxed time has been not really relaxing. Anyway, I'm shattered, basically. Tyler left opposite 4 today. Theory was he will have finished the job by tomorrow lunchtime, but it's so far from being finished because the whole wall needs to get skimmed because it was too uneven. And he's going on holiday for 2 weeks. So he's not coming back until the Tuesday after Easter Monday. So that's 3 weeks away. So the idea of actually having a bathroom finished is still not happening. So my upstairs toilet is still a porta potty in my bedroom because I can't get all the way down the stairs in the night. It's too far.
Damn it.
But I do have a porta potty. So that's really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, better than not.
My step that's to help you get in the bath, which I haven't got a bath anymore, so porta potty sits on the step, which makes it high enough, so that's all good. but I'm going to get my toilet temporarily plumbed in again
Ooh.
tomorrow. That's exciting. The things that were all going swimmingly in the kitchen, I've got a new steel, the big wall's down and the new steel's in. And then the man from building control came in and went, yeah, but that bit there's unsupported, so no. So the calculating engineer did me a calculation the same day, and we sent it back to building control within 24 hours. So it's like, and that was yesterday, and they still haven't answered, and it takes 10 days for a steel to get ordered. And it's just like, you're not helping, because then it'll be Easter again, and then I won't do it. And their new kitchen arrives in the middle of April, so the walls have to be finished before it arrives, because I'm collecting it from somebody's house.
Damn. Just one thing after another.
It is. All of it I could cope with, apart from the fact that I have to get up every day. That is what is really totally draining me.
Yeah, that is definitely the bit that gets you.
Yeah, the course that I'm doing, the adult education trainer AET course that I'm doing, quite a long way through it now. So I have my assessed micro teach yesterday, and my course runs from 4 till 7 on a Wednesday. And so I had to ask the tailor, who was already grumpy because the walls are not straight and they should have been straight and blah blah blah, and he's not going to get it finished. He goes on holiday now, and he's like, so I had to say to him, could you do all the noisy things before 4, because I'm going to be being marked on my presentation via Zoom. And I thought about going somewhere else to do it, but you can't go to somebody's house between 4 and 7, because people are out at work, come home and want to just flop. But anyway, he was fine. He stopped cutting things after 4, so he was just before, like for the 40 minutes before 4 o'clock, like all the grinding of the tiles when it was cutting all the tiles. And Simon, my main builder, came around and he said, you told me I had to be here before 4 because you weren't going to talk to anyone after 4. I was like, yeah. He went, I said, yeah, no, he's going to stop at 4. And he did, bless him, he did.
So we've got, you're excited to have your toilet plumbed in. I'm excited to have a mini sewing machine.
And I got a cooker today. I've not had a cooker in my house since I moved in. So I got a mini cooker like this that you plug in and stand on. It's got a little oven and 2 rings. And I just thought, oh, brilliant. I can actually have a jacket potato from the oven. So I've put one in now before we started.
I guess I was ranting onto you, wasn't I, when I had that hospital appointment.
Ah, yes. Now then, I've got one at 9 a.m. on Monday.
What, like an annual review thing?
The letter says that I have to do an online cognitive test.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Did you do it?
And they don't talk about it at all.
But I was thinking maybe that was related to the work that we did, the memory school that we went to. I was wondering if it was connected from the research from that.
I've got no idea because they don't talk about it.
Yeah, you didn't have a good session, did you? And I'm going to see the same person as you.
So what happened? Well, there's a development as well. What happened was, I only ever seen her once before, and it was fine. I guess where I might have been in the wrong, I kind of mentioned things that are ongoing things, but you just want to kind of like, not have a moan, but
have them logged.
Yeah, but then she kind of just went, oh, that'll be you getting older. And I was like, okay.
So she's suggesting it's perimenopause then, is that what it is?
Well, that occurred to me. I said, oh, okay, well, it's the same kind of problems that I've always had. I saw somebody at Sheffield and they said, your processing is a lot slower and stuff. Oh, yeah, but that could also be getting older too.
We're all getting older since we're born, but it doesn't make us not right since we're born.
It kind of felt like she was denying that there was any cognitive problems. So there was that, and I said, oh, I've had a few problems with like swallowing, and I kind of choked a little bit. And then she got up the MRI. Oh no, you haven't got that problem. That's only people who are very seriously affected. You'd have something on this bit on your MRI. You don't have this problem.
But you do, because we know that you do, because you've had it and mentioned it over the last year.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so I haven't got that version of this problem, but there's got to be a reason that's happening, whether it's like I was tired and my, everything's just weak, or I don't know. I was like, oh, I still have bladder problems. And she asked me how often. I was like, well, it's difficult to say because often I'm at home, so I don't know as much. But weekly, it's not great. Then I made some kind of really offhand, like, oh, I'm used to it now, though. And she said, well, some of my patients don't get used to it because it happens every day. They can't be used to it. And I was like, seriously?
Were you on your own or did you have somebody with you?
I was on my own, but there was a student watching. Great.
I think sometimes when there's a student, it seems to be worse. You don't get interacted with properly.
They're showing off. I was like, are you showing off? I did ask I'm in my 40s now. If it was like menopause, when that does approach, how would I know? And she just went, oh, you'll know. I was like,
From what I remember of that doctor, she's not that much older than, in fact, she's probably younger than
yeah,
me.
she's not.
So she wouldn't know herself. So how can she say that? She's not got the experience to say that.
And I was just like, oh, okay. I was just trying to be prepared. So I left feeling like a kind of fraud almost. Like I'd made all these cognitive problems up. And I was like, why would I do that?
When you did the test thing before you went, were you having a good day? Do you think you did quite well on it?
She hadn't got any of the results.
Or she didn't have the results?
No. But at the end, she was like looking through my MRI results, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I guess a lot of your lesions are on your spine," as if she'd only just.
She's been looking at your brain and haven't considered those.
Yeah, like she was only just admitting that I might have certain problems. My God. Yeah. So it develops. I'm really feel awful, just that was horrible. So I phoned the patient liaison people. They phoned me back really early in the morning, so I was all like, ah. Have a big chat with them, and if you put a formal complaint in, that's pretty hard line, and that goes on for ages. And what we can do instead is I can have a word with their manager and we'll just discuss what happened, and patients normally are very pleased with how that's gone. It's like, yeah, that sounds all right. And literally, I think it was either the same day or the next day, we get a phone call, not from the manager, from the doctor herself. I answered the phone and I was like, oh, this wasn't what I was expecting.
What did she say? Why are you complaining about me?
I've had an email. I was like, oh God. So it's like, what do I do in this situation?
That's an even worse situation to be in.
Yeah.
Not being supported, is it? That's being dropped in it.
Yeah. And I'd really said to the patient liaison person, I don't want to dob anyone in or get anyone into trouble. It's just that my concern is if we don't log these problems, then if I need more treatment, or there's no record of this, it's just obviously problematic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I just thought, I'm just going to have to say to her, I'm just going to have to be honest and say,
yeah.
I found this really awful and I've never had an appointment like this before. And she was pretty mortified. She was like, I'm so sorry. I think that normally I act with empathy, and it was really weird. She was like, oh, I wasn't trying to say that you'd got mild symptoms, or she was like, you can see another doctor if you want to in the future. And I was like, no, actually it'll be fine because I see now that you get it. I don't really know what happened. And I was thinking, but then she spoke a lot about, well, over the next couple of years you'll probably be secondary progressive. So then I was like, ah, but I don't know if she was trying to almost
overcompensate.
Yeah, not make that happen.
Yeah.
Or because she said a few times, oh, alemtuzumab worked so well for you, didn't it? And I was like, yeah, I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying that these are problems that still exist. And so I don't know, I was thinking, well, maybe she just wanted to cheerlead the drug, or she wanted to not make it sound like I was transitioning to the next stage, or I don't know. But I'm glad that I said something, but it wasn't how I wanted it to go.
No. Did you get back to the patient liaison and say that?
No, I didn't. I was just a bit like burnt out then. I was like, oh.
Yeah. If they haven't said, we'll get the doctor to phone you, you don't expect the doctor to phone you, do you?
And then you're like, oh.
You're unprepared. You're facing the person that you thought you weren't going to be facing, and the person that's upset you. So that's really awful.
Yeah.
I think you should rant about that. That's terrible.
But I got a bit scared about things getting worse. But then I was just like, that lasted maybe a couple of days. Then I'm over it now. I think.
If there's something really big and it really worries me, I tend to somehow just blanket, but it will be there and coming out in other ways, but I won't look at it directly.
Well, I think that's what this made me realise, that I'm slightly always in denial a little bit, but I think you kind of need to be, don't you? Else it'd be too much.
You wouldn't get out of bed and you wouldn't ever do anything.
But then suddenly I was like, what, this is a thing? I'm all right with this level of not working. What, this is going to get worse? But, you know, she did say there are drugs for it now, and there'll probably be more when you do. So 2022, didn't think it was going to be worse than 2021, but it's really
not begun well, has it?
It hasn't. Where are you again?
I'm in the heady heights of Sherwood.
I couldn't remember what it was called. Like, I could visualise where it was, but I couldn't remember what it was called.
It is nice because it is on the hill and there's lots of sky and there's loads of twittering birds. Actually, they're quite loud and shouty, but you know, there's lots of birds and stuff.
You settling in?
Well, not yet. I need to have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, a bathroom
and maybe a kitchen. Then I'll be settled in. That's the other thing, because everything's still packed, and everything from that would be in the bathroom is in my bedroom. Everything that would be in the dining room, which is also where my piano is, like my music-y bits, is in my second bedroom, and everything that would be in the kitchen is in the garage. So, you know, when you go to get the potato masher, I can't, I have to use a fork because it's in a box in the garage. I don't know which box where. And the things I did have, I knew where they were. When the wall came down last week, they all got moved. And when your brain's not working and you need your breakfast, and it's like, well, I don't know where the bowls are. And I found my bowls. And I couldn't find my cereal. I found my cereal, but I'd lost my bowl by then. It was in a different room. Then I sat down to eat it. I couldn't find a spoon. The normal 5 times as long as it takes everybody else to do a thing, and then everything's moved, so it takes 12 times as long.
Yeah. And then you know.
What did I do today? I found my breakfast things and ate my breakfast. Did I remember to take my tablets? I can't remember because they're normally sitting next to the cereal and they're not.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be really nice. I mean, I have chosen to do this. I have to keep reminding myself. I chose this.
Yes.
I could have lived in the house as it was.
How is the furry fellow?
She's exhausted all these early mornings. She's not used to it.
Oh, what? She's all sleeping in the night rather than howling cats.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, she's a sleepy in bed all night cat. She has now got a cat flap, which has made life so much easier because she only just started going out when the wall came down. So she was spending a lot of time under the bed. The most recent noises have been upstairs in the bathroom, so I persuaded her to come downstairs. So she spent a couple of days hanging out in the living room where I am now. And then I went, you've got a cat flap. So she's like, oh yeah, I can go out. So she's been going out. And I found out today, I suspected it the other day, what she does is she goes out in our garden, she wanders around, she comes back up to the top, goes through the hedge and hangs out in next door's garden all day, then comes back. And I know next door's got a cat, that they a young cat, and he hasn't let it out yet. And when I spoke to my neighbour about 3 weeks ago, he said, oh, you know, I'm worried, too worried to let him out, you know. I said, you've got to let her out. Get us. She's not spayed yet either. You need to get a spade and then let her out. Let her go and explore. He went, but there's all these big bruises of cats out there. I said, yeah, but she'll be all right. Said, your mum let you out, didn't she? And he went, yeah. Maybe that was a bad example. You never know. I don't know. I don't know him. And then he said, yeah, your cat comes in my garden and showed me a video of my cat and the cat that's the bruiser cat hanging out on just in front of his window, and his cat inside the window going berserk, running from side to side because it can't get out to where they are.
So she's mates with the bad guy.
Well, she was a little bit matey with the big bad guy where we used to live, but only in terms of like she would follow him everywhere, but he used to beat her up. Not a good, healthy relationship, really. No. And then it got worse and worse, so she stopped going out in the end. So I'm hoping this time she will have learned a bit more street sass. So she's just got the hang of the cat flap. All's going well. She goes out. I make her come down with me. She goes out, hangs out next door, winding their cat up, comes home, exhausted, and goes to bed. She's gone to bed now. We're both exhausted. Because I think when you have MS, you're more like a cat. You expect to sleep 14, 15 hours a day, don't you?
Yeah. I've just been having to like get up. Our cat's got a crazy appetite now.
How's her thyroid?
Well, she went to the vet to have her annual checkup and he didn't say anything about it. He just basically went, oh, well, she's got like a bit of a heart problem and she's got loads of tartar on her teeth and stuff, and I think she's probably got cataracts and stuff. And he was all like, oh. And then he said, how old is she? I said, she'll be 20 in a couple of months. And he was like, oh, in that case, she's doing amazing. Don't worry. But I told him about the meowling, and he was just like, oh, I can give her some painkillers that will a little bit sedate her. And it will probably be good for anything she had going on. Yeah. So we're giving her a little syringe in the morning and at night, but it's not taking her through the night. What else?
Oh, we've got something coming up with the MS Trust, haven't we? But I can't remember when.
Yes, it's Shift MS. We're going to be taking over their Twitter feed. I've got to learn how to do that, do you? I don't know what that entails.
I think there's a lot of hashtags involved.
Oh no, I don't think it is even their Twitter feed. I think it's their Instagram. I'll have to really look at what we've signed ourselves up to. It's not until August.
We've got time to learn.
We've got time to learn.
And forget and learn again.
Forget to learn, then panic.
Then learn again.
All of that.
When we know what it is, we can tell people, and if it's something we want them to engage with, we can drum up some support.
Yeah. Or if it's a nightmare, we'll just let it
be fine. It wouldn't be a nightmare. It'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we'll learn what Shift MS's thing is.
Yeah. And you've had some poetry goings on.
I have. I've been poeting a bit. I'm running an event in May as part of the Poetry Festival in Sherwood.
Cool.
This is today. I think that's what it's called. This is today. Can't remember. So come to my poetry event. It's on Friday the 13th of May and it's in Sherwood. I know that. I know where it is and when it is. Can't remember what it is. June, I'm doing another one. I'm hosting an event as part of Woollerton Arts Festival. So that's exciting. And what's even more exciting is I'm going to be poet in residence for Woollerton Arts Festival. I've never been a poet in residence before.
Check you. That's proper good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're just like queen of the poems.
No, I think I'm perhaps a lowly courtier.
So that was our episode, Random Rantings and the Small Wins.
Thank you for joining us. I've been Lytisha.
I've been Jeanette.
We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.